We're diving into one of the most shocking discoveries in coin collecting, the 1961 D. Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1 million. That's right, a single penny that could buy you a mansion, a sports car, or at least cover your gas bill for a few months. I know what you're thinking. A penny? Really? Oh yeah, and I'm going to tell you exactly why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can find one yourself. Plus, I've got a wild personal story about the time I almost threw away a rare coin. Yeah, it still haunts me. So stick around, because this could be the most profitable 60 minutes of your life. All right, let's get down to business. The 1961 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, as you can tell by the little D mint mark under the year. Now, normally, these pennies are pretty common. In fact, the US Mint pumped out over 1.7 billion of them. So why is this one worth a fortune? It all comes down to rare errors and special varieties. Coin collectors go absolutely nuts over mistakes, double dies, misstrikes, off-centers, you name it. And there's one particular 1961 D. Lincoln penny that has an error so rare, it's worth more than most people's houses. We're talking about a super dramatic double die obverse. If you look closely at the lettering, especially in Liberty and the date, you'll see some serious doubling. But here's the kicker, most people don't even realize they have one. They spend it on a pack of gum and never look back. Now, let me tell you a quick story about how I almost lost a fortune because I didn't check my change properly. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and the cashier handed me back some pennies. I glanced at them, saw they were old, and thought, just some regular pocket change. Then, just as I was about to toss them into my coin jar, I noticed something weird. One of them looked off. The letters were slightly doubled. My heart skipped a beat. Yes, I carry one like a total coin nerd and started inspecting it. Turns out, it was a major double die penny worth over $1,000. Now, it wasn't the $1 million 1961 D, but still. I almost gave it away for nothing. Lesson learned. Always check your change. How to spot the $1 million 1961 D penny. Alright, so let's say you're digging through your coins right now. What exactly should you look for? It has to be from Denver, or else you're out of luck. Check Liberty, the date, and In God We Trust. If you see any doubling, you might be sitting on a gold mine. The highest value coins are in pristine condition, meaning no scratches, no heavy wear, and definitely no attempts to clean it. Seriously, don't clean your coins. If you think you've got one, don't guess. Send it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC for authentication. That's the only way to confirm its true value. Now, let's talk money. A standard 1961 D penny in average condition? Maybe 2 cents. A nice uncirculated one? Maybe a few bucks. But the rare double die version? That's where things get crazy. The last time one of these was found in top condition, it went for over $1 million at auction. Imagine turning a single penny into a life-changing payday. Most of these haven't even been discovered yet. That means they're still out there, hiding in coin jars, old collections, and yes, even your pocket change. The 1961 D. Lincoln penny could be worth $1 million if it has the right rare error. The key is to check for doubling on the lettering, make sure it's in great shape, and get it authenticated. Now, before you run off to check your piggy bank, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post weekly videos on rare coins, valuable finds, and the best coin collecting strategies to help you turn pocket change into serious cash. And if you've ever found a rare coin, or almost thrown one away like I did, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Hey folks, have you ever dreamed of finding treasure in your pocket change? Well, guess what? Someone did, except their treasure wasn't a chest of gold. It was a 1986 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark, worth a whopping $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny, 1 cent, sold for more than a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, or even a private island. Now, before you start dumping out your coin jars all over the kitchen table, which, by the way, I fully support, let's talk about why this tiny copper coin is worth more than most people's retirement funds. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to find it, and how you might just turn your spare change into a fortune. Oh, and trust me, I've got a personal story that'll make you double-check every penny from now on. Alright, let's start with the basics. In 1986, the US Mint was cranking out billions of pennies, like usual. Most had a tiny letter underneath the date, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or nothing at all if it was from Philadelphia. But here's where things get interesting. Normally, Philadelphia pennies from this era didn't have a mint mark. No big deal. And this is a big, but there was a rare error where a batch of these pennies were struck with a very unusual die. This mistake created a distinct no-mint mark variety with a unique appearance, making them incredibly valuable. And when I say valuable, I mean life-changing money. So, what's so special about the $1.1 million version? Well, this isn't just any no-mint mark penny. This one was struck in an entirely different way, creating a near-proof-like finish. We're talking ultra-sharp details, an eye-catching shine, and an overall look that makes serious collectors go weak in the knees. Only one has ever surfaced so far. That's right, just one. It was authenticated, graded at an insane MS-68, and sent to auction. And when the gavel dropped, boom, $1.1 million. Imagine that. Someone found a penny in their change and ended up with more money than most of us will see in a lifetime. I remember a time when I almost had my own million-dollar penny moment. I was at a gas station, nothing glamorous, just grabbing some coffee and paying in cash like an old-school coin nerd. The cashier handed me my change, and one penny caught my eye. It looked weird, shinier than normal. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be one of these rare no-mint mark errors? I stared at that penny like it held the secrets of the universe. I even held it up to the light like some kind of archaeologist uncovering an ancient artifact. The guy behind me? Not impressed. He huffed, "Buddy, it's a penny, not the Holy Grail." Mine turned out to be just a regular 1986 penny, worth exactly 1 cent. But hey, that one moment taught me always to check your change. Because you never know, your next grocery store run could turn into $1 million payday. Check your pennies. If you've got a 1986 Lincoln cent, especially one that looks sharper than usual, get it checked out. It could be the next $1 million discovery. And if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop videos on coins worth serious money, collecting tips, and how to spot the hidden gems in your pocket change. Who knows? The next video might be the one that helps you strike it rich. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Ever dreamt of finding a fortune in your pocket change? Well, today we're diving deep into the world of the 1967 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Could this humble coin really be worth $1.2 million? Grab your magnifying glasses, and let's embark on this numismatic adventure together. First things first, let's talk about this intriguing little coin. In 1967, the U.S. Mint produced over 3 billion Lincoln pennies, all without a mint mark. Why no mint mark, you ask? Well, during the mid-1960s, the Mint was battling a coin shortage and decided to omit mint marks from 1965 to 1967 to streamline production. So, if your 1967 penny lacks a mint mark, that's completely normal. Now, let's address the million-dollar question, literally. Is there a 1967 penny worth $1.2 million? I hate to burst your bubble, but no 1967 penny has fetched such a staggering amount. However, don't toss that coin aside just yet. While most circulated 1967 pennies are worth their face value, certain factors can make them more valuable to collectors. The first factor is the coin's condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to perfect uncirculated, MS-70. An uncirculated 1967 penny in pristine condition can fetch anywhere from $10 to over $250, depending on its grade. So, if your penny looks like it just rolled off the press, you might be in luck. Next up is color. Pennies come in 3 color: red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN. A red penny, retaining its original copper luster, is more desirable and valuable than its brown-toned counterparts. So, if your penny has that fiery red glow, it could be worth more. Lastly, let's talk errors. No, not the kind we make on a Monday morning before coffee, but minting errors. These can range from doubled dies, where the design appears doubled, to die cracks, which look like raised lines on the coin. Such errors can significantly increase a coin's value, sometimes fetching anywhere from $5 to over $100, depending on the rarity and demand. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was rummaging through my grandfather's old coin collection. Amidst the usual suspects, I found a 1967 penny with a peculiar sheen. After some research and a trip to a local coin dealer, I discovered it was an uncirculated red penny with a minor die crack error. I sold it for $150. Not quite $1.2 million, but it did pay for a nice dinner. So what's the takeaway here? While the 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't your ticket to millionaire status, it still holds potential treasures for the keen-eyed collector. Always check your change. You never know when you might stumble upon a hidden gem. Thanks for joining me on this coin collecting journey. If you enjoyed this dive into the world of pennies and want more tips on coins worth money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Keep exploring, keep collecting, and may your pockets be filled with valuable surprises. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and curious minds alike. Imagine rummaging through your pocket change and stumbling upon a penny worth a whopping $1.3 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this treasure hunt together. First things first, what's the deal with mint marks? In the US, coins typically bear a small letter indicating where they were minted: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. However, pennies from the Philadelphia Mint traditionally lack a mint mark. So, if you come across a penny without one, it's likely from Philly and, unfortunately, not an error or rarity. Now, let's address the elephant, or should I say, the penny in the room. There's been buzz about a 2013 no-mint Mark penny valued at $1.3 million. But here's the kicker. As of now, there's no verified record of any 2013 penny fetching such a staggering amount. Most 2013 pennies without a mint mark are standard issues from the Philadelphia Mint and are worth, well, a penny. But don't be disheartened. Some pennies have indeed fetched hefty sums. For instance, the 1943 copper penny, a rarity born out of a World War II-era mix-up, has been known to sell for over $200,000. Similarly, the 1969 S-double die penny, with its distinctive doubling of the design, can be worth more than $50,000 in uncirculated grades. Coins.thefunnymessguy.com let me share a little story. A few years back, I was sorting through a jar of old coins inherited from my grandfather. Amidst the nickels and dimes, I spotted a 1983 penny with a peculiar sheen. Heart racing, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. After some research, I discovered it was a common zinc penny with no special attributes. While it wasn't my million-dollar find, it sparked my passion for coin collecting and the thrill of the hunt. If you're eager to dive into numismatics, that's fancy talk for coin collecting. Here are some tips. Familiarize yourself with key dates, mint marks, and errors. Knowledge is your best tool. You never know when a rare coin might pop up in everyday transactions. Engage with fellow enthusiasts through clubs or online forums. Sharing discoveries and knowledge enhances the experience. Always hold coins by the edges to preserve their condition. If something sounds too good to be true, like a $1.3 million 2013 penny, approach with caution and verify facts. While the tale of the $1.3 million 2013 no-mint Mark penny remains a myth, the world of coin collecting is filled with genuine treasures waiting to be discovered. So, keep your eyes peeled, your knowledge sharp, and who knows? Maybe one day, you'll find that elusive coin that turns your pocket change into a fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies and want more tips on coins worth money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's uncover the hidden gems in our pockets together. You're sifting through your pocket change, and suddenly, you spot a humble 1969 D Lincoln penny. You think, it's just a cent, right? But what if I told you that this unassuming coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? Intrigued? Well, stick around, because today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1969 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, exploring its value, the quirks that make it special, and how you might just strike it rich with your loose change. Now, before you start emptying your piggy banks, let's get one thing straight. Not every 1969 D penny is a golden ticket to millionaire status. In fact, most of them are worth, well, about a penny. But, as with all great treasure hunts, it's the anomalies, the rare errors, that turn an everyday object into a collector's dreamed so. What's the deal with the 1969 D penny? The D signifies that it was minted in Denver, and in 1969, over 4 billion of these pennies were produced. That's a lot of Lincolns. But amidst this sea of copper, a few rare gems emerged, thanks to a little mishap known as the double die error. Picture this. You're at the mint, churning out coins like there's no tomorrow. Somewhere along the line, the die, the tool that stamps the design onto the coin, shifts ever so slightly, resulting in a doubled image. This means elements like the date or the inscriptions appear twice, slightly offset. It's like the coin had one too many cups of coffee and developed a jitter. Now, here's where it gets juicy. While the 1969 D pennies are common, the 1969 S, minted in San Francisco, pennies with the double die error are the true showstoppers. These rare beauties have fetched prices upwards of $37,200 at auctions. In fact, only about 30 of these coins are known to exist, making them one of the most coveted Lincoln cents among collectors. But what about our Denver-minted friend, the 1969 D penny? While the double die error is predominantly associated with the San Francisco Mint, the Denver pennies have their own quirks. For instance, some 1969 D pennies exhibit what's known as the floating roof error. This occurs when the lines connecting the roof of the Lincoln Memorial to the rest of the building are missing, making it appear as though the roof is, you guessed it, floating. Coins with this error can fetch a pretty penny, pun absolutely intended, with some selling for around $45. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the $1.4 million valuation. While there have been instances of rare coins fetching astronomical prices, like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, one of which sold for $3.7 million, the 1969 D penny hasn't reached those heights. However, that doesn't mean it's not valuable. High-grade specimens, especially those with unique errors, can still command impressive sums. For example, a 1969 D penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded MS-67, once sold for $7,475. But here's the kicker. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Values can skyrocket based on demand, the discovery of new errors, or even a coin's unique history. So, while a $1.4 million 1969 D penny might sound like a stretch today, who knows what the future holds? Now, let me share a little story. A few years back, I was helping my grandmother clean out her attic. Amidst the dusty photo albums and vintage knickknacks, we stumbled upon a jar filled with old coins. As a budding numismatist, that's fancy talk for coin collector, I was ecstatic. We spent hours sifting through the jar, examining each coin with a magnifying glass. Most were ordinary, but then we found it. A 1969 D penny with a peculiar-looking roof on the Lincoln Memorial. My heart raced. Could it be the elusive floating roof error? After some research and a trip to a local coin dealer, we discovered it was indeed the error coin. While it didn't make us millionaires, we sold it for a tidy sum, and the experience ignited my passion for coin collecting. So, what's the moral of the story? Always check your change. That penny you received with your morning coffee could be worth more than you think. And remember, the thrill isn't just in the potential payout, but in the hunt itself. As we wrap up this coin-filled adventure, I encourage you to take a closer look at the coins jingling in your pocket. Who knows? You might just discover a hidden gem. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community of treasure hunters, and stay tuned for more tips, stories, and strategies on coins worth money. All right, picture this. You're digging through your pocket change, maybe buying a coffee, and you get a 1976 penny. No big deal, right? Just another penny. You toss it in your pocket, maybe even in that coin jar collecting dust on your shelf. But what if I told you that little penny could be worth a whopping $1.50 million? That's right, one tiny, seemingly ordinary Lincoln cent from 1976 has turned into one of the rarest, most valuable coins out there. Now, before you go flipping over furniture and digging through old piggy banks, stick with me. I'm going to break down exactly why this coin is so special, how to spot one, and what to do if you find one. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll be rating every penny jar you can find. The 1976 no mint mark penny. What's the big deal? So, what makes this coin worth as much as a beach house in Florida? Well, in 1976, the U.S. Mint struck millions of pennies, most of them in Philadelphia, which typically didn't put a mint mark on its coins, and others in Denver and San Francisco. Nothing unusual there. But here's where it gets wild. A small batch of these pennies, for some mysterious reason, was struck with a rare composition error. Instead of the usual copper and zinc alloy, some of them were accidentally made of 100% pure copper. And because these were never supposed to exist, they are extremely rare. Coin collectors lose their minds over mistakes like this. The fewer there are, the more valuable they become. And as of today, only one confirmed example of this no mint mark, pure copper penny, has been found, selling for $1.5 million. How do you know if you have one? Now, this is where it gets interesting. You don't need fancy equipment, just your eyes, a scale, and a little patience. It must be a 1976 penny with no mint mark under the date. If you see a D or an S, sorry, that's not the one. Next, weigh it. A normal 1976 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. But if you've got one of these rare pure copper errors, it could weigh slightly more due to the unusual composition. Sound test? Okay, this one's just for fun. Drop it on a hard surface. If it rings like a tiny bell instead of a dull clunk, you might be onto something. Now, let me tell you about a time I thought I struck gold, literally. A few years back, I was at my grandmother's house helping her clean out old junk. She had this huge coffee can of pennies, some dating back to the early 1900s. I started sifting through them, feeling like Indiana Jones searching for treasure. And then, bam, a 1976 penny with no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be the one? I ran to grab my scale, weighed it, and 3.11 grams. Just a regular old penny. I won't lie, I felt like a kid who just found out Santa doesn't exist. But hey, that experience lit the fire for my coin collecting journey, and now here I am, teaching you how to find the real deal. If you think you've got one of these rare pennies, don't just toss it in your sock drawer. Take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Put it in a safe holder. You wouldn't leave a $1 million lottery ticket lying around, right? If it's legit, collectors will be lining up to buy it. Conclusion: finding one of these is like winning the lottery. But hey, people do win the lottery, and someone's already found one of these pennies, so why not you? If this got you fired up to start checking your spare change, hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more coin hunting tips coming your way. Don't let another valuable coin slip through your fingers. And if you do find something cool, drop a comment. I love hearing about your discoveries. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts and curious minds alike. Imagine this. You're sifting through your pocket change, and nestled between a couple of dimes and a nickel, you spot a humble 1988 D Lincoln penny. You think, meh, just another penny. But what if I told you that this little copper-coated gem could be worth, drumroll, please, $1.6 million? Okay. Before you start tearing apart your couch cushions, let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1988 D Lincoln penny and separate fact from fiction. Welcome back to Coin Fables, where we uncover the stories behind the coins jingling in your pockets. Today, we're zooming in on the 1988 D Lincoln penny. Is it the golden ticket to a millionaire's lifestyle, or just another cent in the sea of change? Let's find out. First things first, let's get to know our coin. The 1988 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark, with a whopping mintage of over 5.2 billion coins. That's right, billion with a B. So, in terms of rarity, it's about as common as finding a cat video on the internet. You might have heard tales of pennies fetching thousands, even millions, at auctions. While these stories are rarer than a unicorn sighting, they do have a kernel of truth. Certain pennies, due to unique errors or exceptional minting conditions, can indeed be worth a pretty penny, pun absolutely intended. For instance, some 1982 Lincoln pennies with specific characteristics have been known to fetch up to $15,000. But before you start dreaming of swimming in pools of cash like Scrooge McDuck, remember that these are exceptions, not the rule. Mistakes during the minting process, like double dies or off-center strikes, can make a coin unique. However, die deterioration doubling, a common form of doubling, often doesn't add significant value. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, known as mint state, are more valuable than those that have been rattling around in pockets for decades. Limited mintage or coins pulled from circulation early can increase value. Now, back to our 1988 D friend. In average circulated condition, it's worth, wait for it, 1 cent. Yep, face value. In uncirculated mint state, MS conditions, values can range from about $1 to a few $100s, depending on the grade. The highest recorded sale for a 1988 D penny was around $1,500 for a coin in exceptional condition. Impressive, but still a far cry from $1.60 million. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I stumbled upon a shiny penny in my change. It was a 1988 D Lincoln penny, gleaming like it had just been minted. My heart raced as I imagined retiring early, all thanks to this copper beauty. After some research and a trip to a local coin dealer, I learned it was worth 10 cents. Not exactly the treasure trove I envisioned, but hey, it bought me a gumball. So, is your 1988 D Lincoln penny worth $1.6 million? Probably not. But that doesn't mean coin collecting isn't a rewarding hobby. The thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the stories behind each coin make it worthwhile. If you're intrigued by the world of coins and want to learn more about spotting valuable treasures in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and who knows, maybe your next find will be the real deal. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this. You're sifting through your pocket change, and suddenly, you spot a humble 1964 D Lincoln penny. You think, it's just a penny, right? But what if I told you that this little copper coin could be worth more than a fancy dinner? Intrigued? Let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1964 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and uncover its true value. Now, before you start emptying your piggy banks, let's set the stage. The 1964 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver with a whopping 3,799,071,500 coins produced that year. That's nearly 3.8 billion pennies. So, finding one isn't exactly like finding a needle in a haystack. It's more like finding hay in a haystack. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all pennies are created equal. Most of these 1964 D pennies jingling in our pockets are circulated coins. They're the workhorses, the everyday heroes of currency. In circulated condition, their value is primarily tied to their copper content, which is about 95% of the coin. Given the current copper prices, each penny's melt value is approximately 2 cents. So, if you're thinking of melting them down for profit, hold your horses. It's illegal to melt U.S. coins for their metal content. Now, if you stumble upon a 1964 D penny that's as pristine as the day it was minted, no scratches, no wear, just pure, unadulterated copper beauty, you might be in luck. Uncirculated coins, especially those with a grade of MS65RD that's mint state, with a red luster, can fetch around $1 in the collector's market. Not exactly a retirement fund, but hey, it's a start. Here's where the plot thickens. Some 1964 D pennies have minting errors that make them the celebrities of the coin world. This error occurs when the coin is struck twice, causing a noticeable doubling effect on the design elements like the date or inscriptions. A 1964 D penny with a strong DDO can be worth between $50 to $150 or more, depending on its condition. Sometimes, the D mint mark was punched more than once, leading to overlapping impressions. Coins with this error can range from $5 to $50 in value. If the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting, you get an off-center strike. The more off-center it is, without losing the date or mint mark, the more valuable, ranging from $10 to over $100. This happens when a portion of the coin is missing due to a mishap during the blanking process. Such errors can add $10 to $50 to the penny's value. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Rumors have been swirling about a 1964 D penny fetching a jaw-dropping $1.7 million at auction. While it's true that certain rare coins have sold for astronomical sums, like the 1943 D bronze penny that went for $840,000, there's no verified record of a 1964 D penny reaching such heights. So, before you start planning your luxury yacht purchase, let's keep our expectations anchored in reality. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was helping my grandmother clean out her attic. Amidst the dusty photo albums and vintage knickknacks, we found an old jar filled with pennies. My heart raced as I imagined uncovering a rare minting error worth thousands. We spent hours examining each coin, only to find that most were common pennies with sentimental value rather than monetary worth. But that experience ignited a passion for coin collecting in me, a hobby that combines history, art, and a dash of treasure hunting. So, what's the takeaway here? While the 1964 D Lincoln penny is abundant and most are worth just their face value, certain uncirculated coins or those with unique minting errors can be worth significantly more. It's a delightful reminder that sometimes extraordinary treasures can be hiding in the most ordinary places. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coin collecting and want to uncover more hidden gems in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of numismatic enthusiasts and let's embark on this treasure hunt together. Remember, every coin tells a story. What stories are waiting in your pocket?